How did you acquire my healthcare documentation, Paula Metzler, on Penfield Town Court? My name is Christopher Chichester. I've never committed a crime. And you, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler, broke federal law by acquiring my healthcare records. Paula Metzler, have you heard of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act? It was signed into law by President Bill Clinton in 1996. And I've included a link, the breach notification rule, because you're in breach of it. The HIPAA breach notification rule requires HIPAA-covered entities and their business associates to provide notification following the breach of unsecured protected health information. Unsecured protected health information. A major goal of the privacy rules is to ensure that individuals' health information is properly protected by allowing the flow of health information needed to provide and promote high-quality health care and to protect the public's health and well-being. The privacy rule. A breach is generally an impermissible use or disclosure under the privacy rule. Impermissible use or disclosure. You broke federal law, Paula Metzler, because you asked me a question that is only known by my mother, my father, and my ex-girlfriend. So what I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice, the employees at the United States Department of Justice. So what I'm going to tell the employees at the New York State Department of Health in Albany. This is what I'm going to tell the employees at the Federal Department of Health and Human Services in Washington, D.C. I ride my bike, as I'm a bike rider, by Department of Health in Albany and HHS in Washington, D.C. I know exactly where those buildings are. Explain yourself, Paula Metzler. Explain your fanaticism and hatred and corruption and malevolence. What are you doing with information only my mother, my father, and ex-girlfriend know? That's because the fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths, and Sheriff Todd Baxter's Monroe County Sheriff's Office gave you my healthcare information. Because there you are in your library courtroom. You look down at a piece of paper as I'm sitting in front of you in the Soviet Union show trial you conduct there every single time in Penfield Town Court. And then you ask me that question. Who told you about my health care? Bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler. What's the name of the employee, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, that gave you my health care records? Who right there in front of you, look down. You look down at a record. It doesn't matter if it's not a document from my records, because you have information that is from a document that is in my records, which means you have access to my healthcare records and you are in breach of federal law. This is undeniable what you did. You're sitting there in that disgusting, nauseating little room and you're declaring everybody guilty. And that's why you refuse to comply with this Freedom of Information law. This is attached. The name, charge, and sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court for John P. Lenzo Jr., James P. Mullen Jr., Paula Metzler. I will never go into Penfield Town Court, Paula Metzler. If I'm in front of you, I'll be screaming at you and over you. Don't care about protocol. Don't care about being held in contempt. You're just in there to declare me guilty and deliver me to jail. Where's the jury, you sick hack? Why isn't there a jury in Penfield Town Court? A jury doesn't send me anywhere. The prosecutor doesn't talk twice. It is insane for me to go in there, and you're insane. Sitting up there in enjoyment as you destroy lives. You love to destroy lives. The facts and circumstances of why a defendant is in front of you is totally irrelevant. It does not matter to you, your fellow sick hack, James P. Mullen Jr., and his 70-year-old sick hack, John P. Lomenzo Jr., your predecessor. You're about his age, correct? You cannot function. You do not know what's going on. And that's the way you want it. And that's why you resort to the default of guilty, guilty, guilty. You see this, Paula Metzler? You sick hack. This is a list of every employee at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, Sandra Doyle. I'm demanding from her, this party-switching fraud, the name of the prosecutor in Penfield Town Court that, guess what, doesn't talk. This is it. And this is her re-election defeat if, in fact, she decides to run for re-election. I wouldn't be surprised if she retired, given her age. But you never know with these power-consumed politicians where they will stay in office until the final day. And I've seen that happen in my employment in Albany, Washington, D.C. I've seen individuals, their final day on earth was also their final day in office. And that's the way this super lifer is. And I'm confident that that's the way Sheriff Baxter is. Once you have that power, you never want to give it up. And it doesn't matter what your age is, 60, 70, 80, even 90 years old. There was a congressman, Claude Pepper. He was 99 years old, and he was still in the House of Representatives. Claude Red Pepper. I won't be surprised if you, King of New York, #1, Sandra Dawley's 99 years old, and there you are still as a district attorney. So I have this check right here because I was attacked by a Monroe County Sheriff Office employee, and I've detailed that on previous YouTube. So, Paula Metzler, this is a search warrant. That's not a search warrant. I don't know who watches this. I don't know if you watch this, but I'm trying to contact you, you bald-headed, wig-wearing criminal. You type this in Penfield Town Court. So I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice right here, State of New York County, Monroe, to any deputy sheriff, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, any other police officer, State of New York. Is that right? Anybody from Montauk, New York to Buffalo can come in here. Did you even read this? I wouldn't be surprised. Proof by affidavit. Where's the affidavit? So, just on this nauseating document, that nauseating Paula C. Metzler typed in her office, is any deputy sheriff can come in here. And any police officer from Montauk to Buffalo can come in here. With the proof by affidavit, where is it? Lee LaRoque, you sick hack. Where's the proof by affidavit? Everything in here is a lie. And then you took my Chromebook. You, Leah, took my Chromebook because of bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler. Why? Why, Paula Metzler, did you empower $91,000 Lee LaRoque to take my Chromebook? Did you, Paula Metzler, read the emails on my Chromebook? Did you, Paula Metzler, go to the search history on my Chromebook? If you refuse to answer, I'll tell the employees of the United States Department of Justice, the employees for the Office of Andrew Cuomo, that you, Paula Metzler, read my emails and read the search history on my Chromebook. Because this is a search warrant you typed. So you want my Chromebook. You, Paula Metzler, want my Chromebook. That's why you type right here, any laptops, computers, and tablets. Guess what a Chromebook is? Can you guess? It's a laptop. You read my emails, Paula Metzler. I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice because this is your search warrant. You went to the search history on my Chromebooks. You want to know the websites I visit. How could I not possibly reach that conclusion? That's not the lunatic fringe. It sounds like the lunatic fringe. Search warrant that's not a search warrant that empowers this $91,000 animal, Lee LaRoque, to look at my Chromebook, take it, and exit the residence. Because you, Paula Metzler, want to read my emails and go to search history on my Chromebook. And you're not the only one that did that. And this is what Lee LaRoque left behind. You also met with these civilians, Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah, that are here at 2041 Penfield. And these civilians are telling you I should be arrested. I saw you talking to them in Penfield Town Court. You were in contact with these people. Why? How do you answer that question? A major goal of the privacy rules is to ensure that individuals' health information is properly protected by allowing the flow of health information needed to provide and promote high-quality health care and to protect the public's health and well-being. The privacy rule. You, Paula Metzler, you bald-headed, wig-wearing criminal, are in violation of the privacy rule for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. There's no doubt about that, Paula Metzler. And it says in the law, it cites the definition of a breach. I'm going to tell you what the definition of a breach is, because it's you. This is you right here. Bullet point number 2. The unauthorized person who used the protected health information to whom the disclosure was made. You, Paula C. Metzler, are the unauthorized person who used the protected health information or to whom the disclosure was made. How do you explain that? The employees at the State Department of Health in Albany and the Federal Department of Health and Human Services in Washington, D.C. How is that explained? It can't be explained. Because you're breaking the law. You, Paula Metzler, are a criminal. You have my health insurance information right there in front of you. 3 people on planet Earth only know what you have right in front of you in your library courtroom as you're destroying lives. So, This is a tax, comply with it. What's life going to be like for you when you're contacted by an employee at the United States Department of Justice after I tell an employee at the United States Department of Justice that every single defendant in Penfield Town Court is adjudicated guilty by you bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzler, John P. Lomenzo Jr., and James P. Mully Jr.? It's an assembly line of guilt. You are a disgusting human being, Paula Metzler. And you love the fact that you have this power to declare an innocent American guilty when that innocent American is not guilty. Because the facts don't matter to you. It's not one word to you. What you do is you're up there in your library courtroom, you look at the charge so you know what the charge is, then you rule that person guilty, because I've seen you do this. So, how the hell do you live with yourself, Paula Metzler? I'd really like to know how. Because there's total silence here from these employees at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. You know why there's total silence from the Assistant District Attorney in Penfield Town Court for my appearances? Because Paula Metzler, I have never committed a crime.